Hey there. Ready to dive into something truly epic.
Always.
Today we're exploring the life of Sri Krishna.
Okay.
Specifically, his time ruling the legendary city of Dwaraka.
Right.
Kind of like Atlantis,
Hmm.
but with flying chariots and a whole lot more
I
intrigue.
like it.
Our guide for this deep dive is In the Lost City of Sri Krishna by Vanamali.
Okay.
It's a fascinating blend of ancient Hindu texts,
Right.
like the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Mahabharata,
Yeah.
combined with modern archaeological discoveries and even astronomical evidence.
It's a remarkable fusion of mythology, history, and science.
Right.
What's captivating is that we're not just dealing with stories passed down through generations.
Oh.
This book grounds those stories in tangible evidence,
Yeah.
offering a new lens through which to view this period of ancient India.
So the book paints this vivid picture of Dwaraka as this bustling port city,
Right.
referred to as the Golden City.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a major hub of trade and culture thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years ago.
For centuries, people thought this city was purely mythical,
Yeah.
like a figment of someone's imagination.
A figment.
Then, modern archaeology enters the scene.
Underwater explorations off the coast of India uncovered the remains of a submerged city dating back thousands of years.
Wow,
It aligned perfectly with the descriptions in ancient texts.
that's crazy.
Dr. S.R. Rao, a marine archaeologist who led these explorations, even wrote a book called The Lost City of Dwaraka.
So they found something.
They did fortifications,
Okay.
pottery,
Yeah.
and even these massive stone anchors that suggest Dwaraka was a seriously significant port.
Wow.
It might have even been the largest port in the world back in the 3rd millennium BC.
That's mind-blowing. We're
Okay.
talking older than the pyramids.
That's right.
It's crazy.
What's significant here is that the discovery of Dwaraka isn't just about validating a story.
Right.
It provides a tangible link to a period of ancient Indian history shrouded in mystery, pushing back the boundaries of what we thought we knew about the past.
So we have this lost city, potentially older than we ever imagined. But how do we know when Krishna was even around?
Right.
The book delves into this wild world of astronomical evidence to pinpoint the timeline.
The Mahabharata, which recounts the events of Krishna's life,
Okay.
mentions 3 specific solar and lunar eclipses.
Okay.
Researchers used modern planetarium software to map the positions of stars and planets thousands of years ago.
Wow.
And guess what?
What?
They confirmed that those eclipses did occur.
No way.
And they perfectly align with the timeline described in the Mahabharata.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
They use software to pinpoint the position of stars and planets from thousands of years ago
We did.
and matched it to these ancient texts.
Exactly.
That's like having a cosmic time machine.
Precisely. It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
And it lends a whole new level of credibility to these ancient accounts.
Okay.
It suggests that the Mahabharata isn't just a collection of myths,
Right.
but potentially a record of actual historical events.
Wow.
Astronomical events at the... Yeah.
Now let's talk about Krishna himself.
Okay.
He wasn't just ruling Dwaraka.
Right.
He was this captivating figure,
Mm-hmm.
known for his many wives,
Mm-hmm.
each with her own distinct personality and story.
And that's where this book gives us a glimpse into a different side of Krishna.
Right.
It's not just about his godlike powers or his role in epic battles.
Okay.
It's about how he navigated these complex relationships,
Yeah.
balancing his duties as a king with his very human, very personal life.
It's definitely not your typical happily ever after scenario.
No.
One story that really stood out to me was about his marriage to Satya,
Okay.
also known as Nagnajiti.
Right.
Apparently her father had this outrageous challenge for any potential suitor
What's that?
to win Satya's hand.
Yeah.
You had to subdue 7 ferocious bulls
What?
simultaneously.
Oh my goodness.
And of course, Krishna being Krishna, he managed to pull it off.
Of course.
But there's this fascinating detail.
What's that?
It said that he took on 7 forms simultaneously,
Oh, wow.
one for each bull.
That's amazing.
It's like he's bending reality,
Yeah.
showcasing this extraordinary power.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're already seeing this theme of Krishna blurring the lines between human and divine.
Right.
What do you think this says about how Krishna is being portrayed here?
It speaks to this recurring idea of Krishna transcending limitations.
Yeah?
Not just physical limitations,
Right.
but also the limitations of our perception.
Interesting.
He's not bound by the rules that govern ordinary humans.
That's a really interesting takeaway. It
Mhm.
makes you think about how we perceive limitations in our own lives.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of bending expectations,
Go ahead.
did you know that Diwali,
Yeah.
the festival of lights celebrated by millions,
Right.
might actually have its origins in Dwaraka?
That's right.
Wow.
This book links the origin of Diwali to this dramatic event in Krishna's life.
Okay.
His rival, Shishupala,
Mm-hmm.
sets fire to Dwaraka while Krishna is away, and the city is plunged into darkness.
So the city's burning,
Yeah,
and Krishna is off on some adventure.
that's right.
This sounds intense.
Krishna returns with a group of rescued princesses,
Okay.
saves the city,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone celebrates his return with lamps and lights,
Okay.
signifying the triumph of light over darkness.
Wow, I never knew that about Diwali.
It's amazing.
Suddenly, lighting those lamps feels even more significant.
I know.
It's like this ancient story connecting to a tradition that's still alive and vibrant today.
It is.
It's a beautiful image.
It highlights the enduring power of these ancient narratives,
Yeah.
how they continue to shape our understanding of the world and influence our cultural practices,
Right.
even after thousands of years.
But now, with all this talk of Krishna's divine powers and heroic feats,
Yeah.
the big question remains, was Krishna a man or a god?
Right.
That is the age-old question, isn't it?
It really is.
Man or god?
Yeah.
And this book doesn't shy away from that debate.
No, it doesn't.
It presents evidence pointing in both directions.
Yeah.
You have these fantastical stories highlighting his divine powers,
Right.
but then you have historical artifacts hinting at the existence of an actual person named Krishna.
It's fascinating how Vanamali explores this question through the lens of Krishna's relationships with his wives.
Okay.
It reveals a very human side to him.
Yeah.
Someone grappling with the complexities of multiple marriages.
Okay, so we're not talking about some distant, all-powerful deity here.
Right.
We're seeing a glimpse into his personal life,
Uh-huh.
his human interactions. But we're talking about 8 principal wives,
Yes,
each with her own distinct personality and desires.
that's right.
How does the book say Krishna managed to keep all these relationships in harmony?
It suggests that Krishna wasn't just going through the motions of marriage.
Okay.
He was fully present with each of his wives,
Mm-hmm.
catering to their individual needs and interests.
So we're not talking about a king who occasionally visits his wives.
Yeah.
It's more like he's playing multiple roles simultaneously,
Yeah.
but with genuine care and attention.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It's almost as if he's embodying this concept of being fully present in every moment,
Yeah.
regardless of the circumstances.
Right.
It's an idea that resonates even today
Yeah.
in our fast-paced, multitasking world.
Okay, that's a really deep takeaway.
Yeah.
But let's be honest.
Sure.
Managing 8 wives,
Yeah.
each with her own palace and entourage,
Right.
sounds like an organizational nightmare.
Well, the author doesn't shy away from those complexities. Vanamali mentions rivalries,
Okay.
jealousies,
Uh-huh.
and even some clever tricks Krishna used to maintain peace.
That's interesting.
Remember the story of Satyabhama demanding to accompany Krishna on his mission against the demon Dwaraka?
Right. She was tired of being cooped up in Dwaraka
Yeah.
and wanted to prove her worth.
Exactly.
It's interesting how Satyabhama is portrayed as this strong-willed, almost rebellious figure.
Exactly. She's a stark contrast to Rukmini,
Okay.
often depicted as the ideal devoted wife.
Right.
But Satyabhama challenges Krishna,
Mm-hmm.
pushes his buttons,
Yeah.
and he seems to relish that dynamic.
Yeah.
It reveals a different dimension to their relationship,
Right.
a dynamic that feels very human and relatable.
And this is where we get introduced to Krishna's incredible flying machine,
Yeah.
the Garuda Vimana.
Uh-huh.
It's like something straight out of science fiction.
Imagine this.
Okay.
A chariot-like vehicle
Yeah.
adorned with the face of an eagle,
Okay.
Garuda,
Mm-hmm.
Vishnu's mythical mount.
Right.
It's said to be equipped with all sorts of advanced weapons and technology,
Wow.
all controlled mentally by Krishna.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We're talking flying chariots thousands of years ago,
Mm-hmm.
while most of the world was still figuring out the wheel.
Right.
If this isn't evidence of an advanced civilization,
Right.
I don't know what is.
It challenges our linear view of history.
Yeah.
And hints at the possibility that ancient civilizations possessed knowledge and technology
Okay.
that we're only beginning to rediscover.
So Krishna takes Satyabhama on this high-flying adventure,
He does.
battles a 5-headed demon guarding a moat,
Mm-hmm.
and finally confronts Naraka, in his impenetrable fortress.
And when Satyabhama thinks Krishna has been killed,
Oh, no.
she's consumed by a mix of anger and fear,
Wow.
unleashing a fury that ultimately leads her to deliver the fatal blow to Naraka.
Really?
It fulfills the prophecy that Naraka could only be killed by Bhumi Devi,
Okay.
the earth goddess,
Mhm.
of whom Satyabhama is considered an incarnation.
It's this epic clash of divine forces
Yeah,
with a very human emotional core driving the action.
but the story doesn't end there.
No.
Naraka, with his dying breath,
Okay.
asks Satyabhama to ensure his name is remembered.
Yeah.
And this, according to the book, is how Diwali became associated with the slaying of Naraka.
Wait, so Diwali,
Yeah.
this beautiful festival of lights, is actually rooted in this ancient battle between Krishna and a demon.
That's the surprising connection the book makes.
That's crazy.
It adds another layer of depth and symbolism to a festival celebrated not just in India,
Yeah.
but across the globe.
It makes you wonder how many other seemingly modern traditions
Yeah.
are rooted in these ancient tales.
Exactly.
It's a reminder that history isn't just a collection of dates and events,
Right.
but a living tapestry that continues to shape our world.
Absolutely.
But let's not forget the aftermath of this victory.
Right.
Krishna frees all of Naraka's prisoners.
Yes.
And this is where things take a truly unexpected turn.
He doesn't just free them, does he?
Tell me he doesn't marry them all.
He does.
No way.
He ends up marrying 16,100 princesses.
16,000. Wasn't it enough?
Well,
It's a lot of responsibility,
it is.
even for a god.
That's where Vanamali delves into this concept of Krishna's boundless capacity for love and compassion.
Okay.
He embraced all those who sought refuge in him.
So he wasn't obligated to marry them.
Right.
It was a gesture of protection,
Mm,
of acceptance.
precisely.
Wow.
And it speaks to a broader theme in the book,
Okay.
Krishna's willingness to embrace complexity,
Yeah.
to go beyond societal norms, and to live life on his own terms.
It's definitely a different perspective on marriage.
It is.
One that would raise eyebrows even in today's world.
Definitely.
But it speaks to this idea that Krishna was operating on a different level altogether.
The author describes how each princess was given her own palace,
Oh, wow.
ensuring there was no need for competition or jealousy.
Okay.
It paints a picture of Krishna being equally attentive to each of his wives,
Mm-hmm.
somehow creating this harmonious balance.
I guess when you're capable of taking on 7 forms simultaneously to subdue bulls,
Yeah,
managing a few thousand wives is probably a piece of cake.
right. It certainly adds to the legend of Krishna
Yeah.
as this multifaceted, almost superhuman figure.
But let's remember,
Yeah,
he's not just a character in a story.
right.
He's revered as a god by millions.
Yes,
And his teachings continue to influence spiritual thought to this day.
that's right.
So we've gone from a lost city to astronomical evidence, from Krishna's very personal life to the origins of Diwali, from wild adventures to these almost philosophical insights.
That's right.
What I find fascinating is how this book manages to weave together
Right.
these seemingly disparate elements
Yeah.
into a compelling and thought-provoking narrative.
It's a testament to the power of stories.
Yeah.
Especially those rooted in ancient wisdom traditions.
Right.
They have this ability to transcend time and space,
Mhm.
to connect us to something larger than ourselves,
Yeah.
and to challenge our assumptions about the world.
It really is amazing how these ancient stories continue to resonate with us even today.
Yeah.
They offer a glimpse into a different way of thinking, a
Right.
different way of being. And this book, In the Lost City of Sri Krishna, does an incredible job of bringing those ideas to life.
What strikes me is how the book manages to seamlessly weave together
Yeah.
these captivating stories with some profound philosophical insights
Right.
that are still relevant in the modern world.
Yeah. It's not just about the adventures and the drama.
Right.
It's about Krishna's teachings,
Uh-huh.
his philosophy of life,
Yeah.
and how he navigated the complexities of the world.
One of the key takeaways for me was this concept of embracing life's dualities.
Okay.
Krishna wasn't about renouncing the world or shunning pleasure.
Okay.
He embraced both the light and the shadow, the
Right.
good and the bad, the material and the spiritual.
That's a pretty radical idea,
It is.
especially when you consider the prevailing religious views of his time, which often emphasized austerity and detachment from worldly things.
Yeah.
It's almost like he was saying, live life to the fullest, experience it all.
Exactly. Krishna challenged those norms and offered a different path, one that acknowledged the inherent tensions of human existence and encouraged us to find balance amidst those contradictions.
So we should find a balance.
Yeah.
He wasn't about running away from the world, but engaging with it fully.
That's right.
But engaging with the world can be messy.
It can.
It's full of distractions, temptations, and things that can easily pull you off course.
Right.
How did Krishna approach that?
That's where his teachings in the Bhagavad Gita come into play.
Okay.
He championed this idea of karma yoga, acting without attachment to the fruits of our actions.
Okay.
It's about doing what needs to be done, fulfilling our dharma, our purpose, without getting caught up in the cycle of reward and punishment.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't familiar with these terms, can you break down what dharma and karma yoga mean in a practical sense?
Dharma is essentially your duty, your purpose in life.
Right.
It's about understanding your unique role in the world. Okay.
And fulfilling it to the best of your ability.
So finding our purpose.
Yes. And karma yoga is about performing those actions with a sense of detachment, without being driven by ego or desire for a specific outcome.
All right.
It's about acting with awareness and letting go of the need to control the results.
That sounds incredibly challenging.
It can be.
Especially in today's world where we're constantly bombarded with messages about success, achievement, and instant gratification.
It is a challenge, but Krishna's teachings offer a way to navigate those external pressures with grace and equanimity. It's about finding that inner balance, that stillness amidst the chaos.
So it's not about being passive or inactive. It's about acting with intention.
Exactly.
And a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all things.
Precisely.
And the book portrays Krishna as embodying those teachings in his own life.
He does.
From his relationships with his wives to his role in epic battles.
Right. He demonstrates this ability to act with wisdom, compassion, and a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of everything.
It's like he was offering a blueprint for living a meaningful and fulfilling life, even amidst chaos and uncertainty.
And he wasn't just preaching it.
Right.
He was living it.
That's what makes Krishna such a compelling figure. He wasn't just a mythical figure or a distant deity. He was a living example of what it means to be truly human. To embrace all aspects of ourselves and to find our place in the grand scheme of things.
It's like a really valuable lesson.
It is.
And that's what makes this deep dive so powerful.
I agree.
It's not just about learning about ancient civilizations or legendary figures. It's about connecting with something timeless and profound.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing that the stories of Krishna, the lessons he taught, and the challenges he faced are still relevant to us today.
They are.
They offer a roadmap for navigating the complexities of life.
For finding meaning and purpose. And for living with a sense of joy and wonder.
And as we wrap up this deep dive into In the Lost City of Sri Krishna, I'm left with this lingering question. Could a figure like Krishna exist in our modern world? Could someone who embodies such wisdom, compassion, and playful detachment thrive in today's society?
It's a question worth pondering.
It is.
Maybe it's not about finding another Krishna, but about recognizing the potential for those qualities within ourselves. Perhaps we all have a little bit of Krishna inside us, waiting to be awakened.
And perhaps by exploring these ancient stories and engaging with these timeless teachings, we can tap into that potential and bring a little more of that Krishna consciousness into our own lives.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
Into the life of Sri Krishna and the legendary city of Dwaraka. We hope you've enjoyed exploring these fascinating stories. I did.
And insightful teachings. And remember, keep diving into those things that spark your curiosity and ignite your imagination.
Absolutely.